Hey guys, welcome to my house renovation that's gone wrong. This is my home. As you can see, I'm in the middle of renovation, and I'm going to talk about exactly what has happened here and why I am so against flipping houses as a business, as a way to make money, and why I'm a big fan of commercial real estate instead of single family houses, just like the one that I've bought for myself that I'm standing in currently. So as you can see, I'm in the middle of renovations and I'm supposed to be done. I am supposed to be moved into this house. I am a month past time. I am way over budget, which we're gonna get into in here in just a second. So I wanna use this as an opportunity to teach you guys what Skip the Flip, Secrets to 1% Know About Real Estate Investing is all about, okay? So here's the thing about this house. I bought this house, it's a 1961 house, an old house, but a lot had been redone. It had a brand new roof on it. It had all new plumbing. It had all new electrical. So the house is in really, really good shape. So that really attracted me to this house. And I put a budget whenever I went into this, because I knew it was cosmetically outdated. I knew that I wanted to do some things to this house to make it look a lot nicer, feel a lot nicer, and ultimately improve the value if I did one day want to sell it, okay? But I don't want to sell it. I bought this for me to live in. Okay, so whenever I went in, I gave myself a $100,000 renovation budget. That included new floors, new paint, new kitchen, nothing extremely out of the ordinary. But here's the thing, is that budgets go over whenever you're looking at flipping. You can always expect the unexpected. So luckily I'm in a position to pay the overages on the budget, but a lot of people who get into flipping for the first time, whenever things go wrong, whenever their budget goes over, it eats all their profit immediately, okay? So I bought this house because I think that it's in a really good area. That's the number one most important thing, is that I love the area that this is in. I want to live here long term, and I'm okay if I go over budget on this house. But if I were flipping this house, I would not be okay. I would not have made any profit whatsoever, because currently, as it stands today, I'm $30,000 over budget, and I have not even done all the things that need to be done, especially if I were to flip this in a high-end finish where a lot of people would want to come in and pay the higher prices per square foot for properties like this. So what I want this lesson to be for you guys is that if you're going to buy a home to remodel and live in, I think that's okay. I know a lot of people are against investing in homes. They say rent forever, but here's the reason that I bought this home. Number one, I really like the area. I'm in Atlanta, okay, and I think that Atlanta is a growing market with a lot of people moving in. I think home prices will continue to go up. But here's the other thing. Interest rates are so low right now. I got a 2.6% interest rate on this property, which is ridiculous. Nobody has ever gotten an interest rate that low ever in history, right? After you consider inflation at 2 to 3%, my interest rate on this house is essentially zero, okay? So I feel really good about that. The cost of the money that I borrowed to buy this house is extremely low. And that's one of the things that drove me to buy this. Another thing is that I could have continued renting the apartment that I was in. But here's the thing, is that I can do whatever I want with this house. I can remodel it. The cost of ownership is super low. And I'm gonna build equity over time as this house appreciates and as this house the area that I'm in, Atlanta, continues to go up. And with interest rates being so low, a huge portion of my mortgage payments goes towards building more equity in this home. So for that reason, I thought it was a really big win. I'm super excited about this. But from a business perspective, I would hate this house. I would hate this property, because I wouldn't make any money on this property if I needed to sell it today. Not only am I over budget, but I'm also over on time. And time is extremely important in the world of real estate, because we have holding costs. The cost of the mortgage, the cost of the insurance, the cost of the property taxes, all of those things are costing me money every single day. So if I was holding this as a business, if I was gonna flip this house to make money off of it, then I would be stressed, okay? And that's why I hate flipping. That's why I hate anything but cash flow real estate, because every single day that I hold cash flow real estate, I make money. Every single day that I hold properties like this one, I lose money, and that's a big difference. Every single day when I wake up, I know that my cash flow properties are gonna make me more money. Every day when I wake up, I know properties like this are gonna cost me more money, okay? So for that reason alone, I hate properties like this other than to live in. But here's the thing, I bought this house knowing that if I needed to move, one box had to be checked, okay? There was one thing, don't think about the budget, don't think about the renovation, don't think about the cost. There's one thing that I absolutely would not have bought this house with unless it was in place. And that one thing is that if I had to move out of this house, if I had to move somewhere else, you know, if I had to move across the country, if I had to move somewhere else for business reasons, whatever it may be, and I couldn't sell this house, I know that I could rent this house out for more than my expenses and I could generate a positive return even as it sits today. Even without doing the renovations or anything like that, I could have bought this house and all of my holding costs were less than what I could rent this property out for. So if I had to move out, even if I just bought this as a rental property, the numbers wouldn't look great, but it'd still be cash flow positive, it'd still be a cash flow asset. I'm right by schools, I'm right by a bunch of restaurants. Very, very desirable place to live, and I know that I would have absolutely no problem renting this house out if I needed to. But again, if I were going into this because I needed to rent it out and I wanted it to be an investment, then I'd rather have 5 doors, 10 doors, 20 doors, 100 doors, rather than just one door. But worst comes to worst, I could rent this out, I could really vet out my tenants, and I could produce positive cash flow on this property. That's not what I want to do. I built this house, I'm renovating this house for me to live in, but not to rent out. But worst case, if you're gonna go buy a house, I don't think that's a bad move, okay? I think that we're at a pretty top of the market, but honestly, the top of this residential market could continue going, given all the money they're printing, how artificially low interest rates are. I think that it could be a smart move, aside from what you want your personal life to look like in your living situation, to buy homes and to sit on it. But if you're going to, please take my advice on this one. Make sure if you're gonna go buy a home, it's cash flow positive if you need to move out. And don't just break even, right? I would produce $400, $500, $600 of positive cash flow in this property if I were to move out and go somewhere else. Not to mention the $800 to $1,000 of equity that's going to be paid down every single year. And oh yeah, if I did have to rent it out, I'd probably drop it in an LLC and take some tax benefits on it too. So that's a trifecta of my personal residence. I'm going to build equity, but worst case, what is my escape route on this house? If I can sell it and get all my equity out, that's awesome. If I can't sell it, what do? Can I rent it out? You'll be in a really bad position if you overpay for a house, okay? You can't sell it, and if you're to have to rent it out, it would still cost you money, even with someone else paying the maximum market rent. So if you're gonna buy a house in this time, that's fine. Learn from my mistakes. Put some extra money in your budget. Make sure it's cash flow positive. I didn't make that mistake. Make sure you don't make that mistake. But if you're doing this as a business, make sure you got everything in line. Here's the thing. I'm not a flipping rookie, okay? I've flipped homes before. I've wholesaled, but nothing beats commercial cash flow real estate. And this house is a testament to that. Even my own personal house where everything is in line, things can go bad, budgets can go over, from increased lumber costs to coronavirus delays. You know, I was supposed to get my cabinets a month ago. They're not even here yet for my kitchen, right? So there's so many things that could go wrong. You really, really need to make sure that you have huge margins in there, and even then you got to make sure you still are perfect, because somebody who knows what they're doing, like myself, you still have overages, you still have time delays, and you can still go from a really profitable project to a project that makes no money whatsoever. So with that being said, if you want to learn more, not about projects like these, but about commercial cash flow, pick up a copy of my best-selling book, Skip the Flip, for free, audiobook or PDF, link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more content like this, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna put more out on how to not do projects like this. If you want to learn how to flip, go to somebody else's channel. That's not what this is about. I'm about building wealth through commercial cash flow properties. See you guys in the next video.